Attention passionate Chicago, BENGALS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago BERS fans. Let's get to the news. Now folks, today we're diving deep into a blockbuster move that's shaking up the NFL landscape, especially in the NFC North. It's one of those trades that immediately raises eyebrows, sends shockwaves through the league, and could redefine the Bears' trajectory for seasons to come. Yes, it's a trade that's got a lot of moving parts, a lot of implications, and a lot of what-ifs. So buckle up because this story is heating up and it's going to keep us talking for quite a while. So, here's what we know so far. Rumors have been swirling, and now sources close to the situation are confirming that the Chicago Bears are making a bold move to strengthen their offense. And no, it's not just about adding any wide receiver. This is about snagging a proven, elite talent that can help elevate the entire team's performance. The player in question: T. Higgins, the talented wide receiver out of Cincinnati, who's been making waves since he entered the league back in 2020. And what's really interesting is how this trade came about. The BENGALS, sitting at a 2-3 record, are making a strategic decision to move Higgins. Why? Well, it's part of a bigger plan for Cincinnati, focusing on extending their quarterback Joe Burrow and shoring up their offensive line, which has been a real issue this season, allowing a staggering 28 sacks so far. That's 26th in the NFL. Now, the Bengals, with a cap space of about $12 million, are clearly prioritizing building around Burrow, and trading Higgins makes sense for them strategically, even if it stings a little for the fans. But for the Bears, this is an absolute game-changer. They're acquiring Higgins for a third-round pick in 2026, plus a promising wide receiver, Rome Odunze, who's been showing flashes of potential himself. It's a bold move, but one that's rooted in clear intent. The Bears are looking to solidify their receiving core and create more explosive opportunities for their young quarterback, Caleb Williams. And folks, when we talk about Higgins, we're talking about a player who's been absolutely dominant in 2024. He's already amassed over 1,000 yards receiving, 81 yards to be precise, and that puts him solidly among the top 12 wide receivers in the league right now. He's also scored 7 touchdowns, and his average yards per reception sits at 13.9, ranking him 15th in the NFL. But what really sets him apart isn't just the numbers. It's how he's able to refine routes with surgical precision, making himself a nightmare for defenders. When you watch Higgins play, you see a receiver who wins contested catches at a rate of 52%, which is top 12 in the league, and his deep completion percentage is an impressive 48%, putting him in the top 10 for deep ball efficiency. That's exactly the kind of weapon that can open up an offense, especially when paired with someone like Caleb Williams, who's still developing but has shown flashes of brilliance. In 2025, Higgins has had some ups and downs, with 22 receptions for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns so far. While those numbers may seem modest compared to last year, it's important to remember that he's been hampered by injuries, specifically a hamstring issue that cost him a game earlier this season. Still, his route running and ability to create separation, averaging just 2.8 yards of separation in 2025, are signs of a player who can still elevate his game. His Week 3 performance against the Colts, with 6 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown, plus a +0.21 EPA per play, shows what he's capable of when healthy and involved. And when we take a step back and look at his career, Higgins has accumulated nearly 800 yards and 32 touchdowns, with a route win rate of 61%. His ability to win deep targets, combined with a career YAC yards after catch average of 5 yards, makes him a versatile, big play threat. His peak came in 2024, where he was a top 12 receiver in many advanced metrics, including EPA per target and contested catch rate. His recent performance, especially when healthy, can be compared to some of the best in the league, and that's why the Bears are so excited about this acquisition. It's a move that could give Caleb Williams a true alpha receiver, someone who can win downfield, make contested catches, and stretch defenses. Now, let's talk about the Bengals' perspective for a moment. They're in a bit of a tricky spot. Their odds of making the playoffs are currently around plus 8,000 in the AFC North, which isn't promising. They're facing stiff competition, and their secondary has taken a hit this year. Moving Higgins signals a kind of rebuild or retooling phase for Cincinnati. They're focused on future assets, and this trade helps them free up cap space and draft capital. But the risk is clear. Losing Higgins could impact their offensive production negatively, potentially causing their offense to drop by around 12% in EPA per pass, similar to what we've seen with the Colts after losing Pittman. So, it's a gamble for Cincinnati, but one they're willing to take in hopes of a brighter future. Meanwhile, for the Bears, this trade is nothing short of a statement. They're going all in on their offensive weapons, and the addition of Higgins could be the missing piece to unlock Caleb Williams' full potential. With Higgins on the field, the Bears' passing yards per game could jump from around 200 to close to 240, a significant boost. His presence alone could elevate the team's EPA per pass by 17%, making their offense much more dangerous. And when you add him to an already talented group that includes Keenan Allen, the possibilities become even more exciting. The Bears are also counting on Higgins to be a big factor in the red zone, especially against man coverage, where he's expected to boost their red zone efficiency by over 22%. His ability to win deep routes in a dome environment, combined with the development of Caleb Williams, could turn this team into one of the most explosive offenses in the league. The impact isn't just on the field. The odds of the Bears winning the Super Bowl have already improved significantly, dropping from plus 7,000 to plus 4,000, and they're now considered serious NFC contenders at around plus 500. Higgins' arrival could be the catalyst for a playoff push that finally puts the Bears back on the map, competing with the best of the best. His ability to stretch defenses and make those game-changing plays in the red zone could be the difference in tight playoff games, and that's the kind of player that elevates an entire team's confidence and performance. In terms of the bigger picture, this move signifies a shift in the league's power dynamics. The Bengals, by trading Higgins, are signaling a willingness to rebuild, while the Bears, by acquiring him, are positioning themselves as a team ready to contend now. It's a classic example of how strategic decisions off the field can have enormous repercussions on the field. This trade might even have long-term implications, as Higgins in navy and orange could symbolically mark the beginning of a new era for the Bears, one that's focused on explosive offense, dynamic playmakers, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. To wrap things up, folks, this is one of those trades that will be talked about for years. It's a move that made both teams think about their futures differently. The Bengals are looking to rebuild and retool, cutting ties with a talented receiver to focus on their core, while the Bears are making a bold statement. They're all in, aiming to elevate their offense and challenge for the NFC crown. Higgins is a proven playmaker, and his addition to the Bears' roster could be the spark that ignites their offense and pushes them into serious Super Bowl contention. The NFC North just got a lot more interesting, and we, as fans, should be excited to see how this unfolds. This trade isn't just about player movement, it's about reshaping the landscape of the league, and Chicago fans should be thrilled about what's coming next. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this trade? Are you excited about Higgins' arrival? Do you think it'll be enough to push the Bears into deep playoff runs, maybe even a Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Chicago Bears news. This is an exciting time, and with Higgins now in the mix, the future looks brighter than ever for the Bears. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, bear down.